Hello. Let's see if this is working. Not sure. Checking. Okay, so I think that I am recording. Doo. Yeah, alright. Well, I am probably recording. Okay. Hello everyone. Kirby1 here, and welcome to the premiere on my channel of Dominion 6. Let's take a moment to bid farewell to Dominions 5 and the 4,000 playtime hours that I have accrued therein, and move onwards and upwards. As you can see, I haven't even clicked the play button yet. I would say like first time played and stuff like that. But anyways, we're going to get right into it. I don't really expect a whole lot of people to join this stream, but if you do, hello and welcome. I just kind of assumed that you would be playing Dominion 6 yourself. Knowing me as you do, you probably have some level of enjoyment of this game. In the meantime, whoa, hello, okay. So we're gonna, there we go. We're gonna just have the music on for a little bit, and I kind of expect that if the music is not like, is copyrighted or whatever, then that's fine. I'm not monetizing any of this or anything like that, but we'll leave it on for now. I usually wind up not having music in my videos just because I can't really regulate the sound. It's distracting, all that kind of stuff. It's just personal preference from watching other YouTubers and things like that, but we'll appreciate it in this first little video a bit. And I've heard from people speaking, not from the game itself, I've heard that battles have different music than the regular strategic layer and loading screen, I guess. We probably won't get into that much. I am going to just probably not be opening a game, but if there's something that really piques my interest, then we'll do that. I might not even get into the create world bit and go through that at all. I'll just be doing most stuff from this screen, the create pretenders screen. Just FYI, this probably is not going to have a lot of content for people who are completely new to the game, who are trying to learn things. This is going to be mostly for the old school, old timers who know what's up and are just gonna go through this journey with me, and we can nerd out together about that kind of thing. Real quick, I'm gonna go into network and see what all is going on here. If there's anybody playing. I think a bunch of these are going to be old from the beta. I'm not sure which ones are going to be the new ones. But yeah, refresh. Create new game. Okay, well anyways, a lot of this kind of screen is mostly going to be done offline if I ever host games or join games or things like that. Let's get into pretenders. So first thing I want to check out, just personally, is to see if I sort of made any impact after my Notice Me Senpai moment from Christoph visiting my other YouTube video and mentioning something about what I mentioned in Asphodel. And also I'm going to right click. Cool. Right click. Yep. So What I mentioned was that Asphodel doesn't have any glamour magic, which is a little strange given that their theme is dreaming, dream magic, and sleep magic. So let's see if before the game started they managed to edit or change that at all. Looks like not, which is totally fine. Oh, wait, I stand corrected. Exciting news. So, Pan apostates. No glamour. These are going to be very important for recruiting your, not conjuration, enchantment. Recruiting your carrion lords, more of themselves, but the undead version. I will be really interested also in seeing at a later date if these guys got glamour on them as well. But in the meantime, let's go back. So Dryad hags now have glamour. Is there any doesn't look like there's any general theme to this that they have in their lore text, but they have a chance of glamour 2 and only nature 2. So glamour has fully replaced their nature for their random. Very low chance of glamour 3. That could be cool. And chance of death 2. So they could be death 2, nature 2, glamour 1, or extremely wide path. I'm still not up. This is again first impressions. Not up on what good cross paths go with glamour in regards to water or earth. So 370 versus 420, and then these guys. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. I assume. I honestly don't know if. So, you know, in Dominions 5, Death 1 was kind of bad. Nature 1 is now a little bit bad as well because you can't do Swarm. Because Swarm is now Nature 2 with a gem, which means you definitely can't do it with Nature 1. Glamour 1, no idea. And then the cross paths, I think that there's a Nature Death cross path that's like a 100% precision poison, high poison damage attack, so that could be cool. And then no idea with glamour and their interactions, but just off the top of my head, the reason I was excited for this potentially is because I don't think there are a lot of glamour death nations. Typically you've got the glamour nature, glamour air, glamour astral kind of stuff. But Glamour Death, I think, is basically going to be just Asphodel and, like, Helheim. I'm not sure if there's anybody else, just off the top of my head. Centaurs? No, but that's fine. And also no. Okay, well, that's cool. Yeah, so very cool. I'm excited for this. I don't think anybody else has gotten any of the changes. I'm excited to see whether Minotaurs are good now. I don't want to say better than regular Centaurs. The thing is, Centaurs are good because they have stealth and Berserker. So Minotaurs don't have stealth, which severely limits them, but they have Berserker and Trample, a much better Berserker. And because they have Trample, the way the new Trample mechanics work, they also can attack and trample with their regular axe. And that's going to be like a massive +5. That's a 15 attack, like two-handed weapon. So this is over 35 damage attack. And the trampling can only be used against smaller targets. Ethereal's less good. That's fine. We're not going to ethereal. And size 4. So they can do music, loud. They can trample all humans and smaller. Not horses, which is fine. Alright, And then one of the other funny things that I didn't have in my last video was that Asphodel, one of the really funny bad things about Asphodel in Dominions 5 for me was that their starting army was composed of Satyr Sneaks. And on turn 1, because of your army being so weak, you basically never want to blind expand because you assume that you're going to die unless you have the reinforcements that you're able to recruit on turn 1 and then see who your surrounding cap circle is. But because your starting army is Satyr Sneaks, you get unrest if you don't move on turn 1. So it's just so bad. So and the thing is, if what they did with most nations is the same for Asphodel, then you will get more of your starting army instead of different starting army. Like, I wouldn't mind if you had regular satyrs, or satyr warriors would be great too, but if you have more satyr sneaks, then you're causing more unrest unless you immediately blind expand and hope that they all die, which I will hope that they all die. So just bad, so bad. That's interesting that they have gluttony. I think this is a I was gonna say this is size based, but I guess not. So there's size 3. That's interesting. All right. Enough of that. We've talked this to death. Let's go and look at some other stuff. Actually, before we go, sorry, one last thing. I do want to look at some of the other things. So I know that, whoa, hello, sorry, not that. Question mark. Tab is going to show and hide characteristics. Ah, sorry. Whoa. Okay, it's just press tab. It's not press and hold, because if it does, that you strobe yourself. So just press tab. So Fountain of Blood has magic, turmoil, and blood 3. Idol of Sorcery is still Farcaster, innate spellcaster. That could be really fun, and these are really cool cross paths. This is project self cross paths. I'm excited to try this out with somebody. I'm not sure who yet. What I also wanted to see is who for Asphodel starts with a site. I always like the Vola because they start with more nature and water gems. But that's mostly for if you start awake. I don't know where I don't know if it shows you on here where you would get the sites, but let's see. Okay. It's probably a good idea if I do something like this offline, unless I can find it really quickly. This guy is going to be pretty cool too. I'm not sure. Maybe no one. Maybe none of these guys start with an extra site. That's the unsurroundable tag. I saw this and I was like, that's one of the things from Relay that you can summon. And it's bad because it's immobile and it doesn't have an attack. But yeah, it's the unsurroundable tag because it has so many eyes. I don't know. So I'm going to have to take a look at this offline, and then we will see if I find any pretenders that have a site, because I'll be interested in that too. Alright, let's skedaddle and let's look at my next favorite, which is Ubar. And this is another thing that's going to really throw me for a loop, is Ubar's up here now, whereas because they were added so late in Dominions 5, they were down here right before the Water Nation started. So that is going to bend my mind for like a month. Anywho, exciting stuff. Reduce heat scale deaths by 1 step is important for the way that heat works now. Let's look at their sites. Increases heat by a maximum of 1. So if you get to 4, then you will be heat 5. And your preference is heat 3. So, dang it. Gotta do the, go back to view. Okay, heat limit +1, magic limit +1, which means inherently, oh, and we start at heat 3. Okay, cool. And then we can go to magic 3. And only drain 1. Which, who would ever want to do Ubar drain? I don't know. Maybe if you're really into the camel riders and the ghouls. Ghouls are size 3, human-sized. Okay, cool. Yep, cool. Alright. What else? So, because you start at heat 3, that means you're going to actually start in your capital at heat 5, because this site is always active. Excuse me. And not heat 5, heat 4. And then you can't go higher than heat 4 because you can't take a pretender that can go past your heat limit, which already starts at 3. So I think maybe a free magic point is or free design points is probably just going down to heat 2, and then you'll go back up automatically to heat 3 from your site, which is what you want anyways. And then that bypasses this part entirely, which you're not even concerned about. So anyways, that's a thought. This site recruits all of these guys and a glamour gem. Okay, so you actually get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on turn 1. 2 fire, 1 glamour, air, and death, which death you barely ever use because you don't have any death on your nation. And then Jana is the Hori, which are size 4, interesting. And Jin are going to be size 4, Jin troops, interesting. Also size 4. So that means you can fit 2 per square instead of 3 per square. 2 and something. Not a lot, though. Okay. And then this will go growth, increases growth by a maximum of 3. So if you start with growth 0, then when your god wakes up, because you have to start at least dormant, you will boost up your near cap to growth 3. I don't know if that's automatic or if it slowly goes up to 3. Probably slowly. But if you take growth 2, then what that means is in your cap you will boost up to growth 5. Which is something. And then because of the way scales work around the province, it, I think, percolates a little bit outward. So I think adjacent to a growth 5 province will probably absorb some of that and get growth 4 maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna have to test that out and see. And then we got these guys, size 7. Interesting. Interesting. Cost 3 holy points. I think that this guy is like the only guy now, because I know that early in beta development, and we can take a look at that next in a little bit, but I'm not really concerned about Raga. Raga had Ziedon's cost 3 holy points. I'm not surprised. I kind of already knew this or suspected this from Lucid. Excuse me. And yeah, they cost 830 gold, which is a lot. And I think they just get glamour straight up on top of everything else. because their randoms look the same, and they just have everything plus glamour. So, cool. That's cool. They're still pretty hard counterable, I assume. But they can get, in theory, they can get up to plus 10 in all of their stats from fire and magic power, being fire 5 and magic 5. That'd be extremely rare circumstances that would happen, but is also quite preposterous. And of course the reverse is also true, where you can get potentially minus 10 to all stats if you really selectively choose a very poor province to attack into. But that could be highly entertaining. Shaitans are size 5. Now this is important actually because of the way corruption works. Corruptor has to be done with victims that are the same size or smaller. And size 5 is smaller than most of the of the normal size giants. So normal size giants are size 6, like the Jotun giants, and then small giants are like, well, I mean, they're not in the early age, but like colossi. Colossi are, I think, size 4 or size 5. So he could take a colossi queen probably back with him, or a Enkidu, I assume. Something like that. And then, yeah, glamour on top. Yeah, I think this looks like it's just what they were plus glamour, and they don't get a glamour random. So they kind of low on glamour, honestly, which is fine. And then these guys are also 3 to recruit, but it doesn't look like they're limited recruitment. So in theory, you could get Dominion 9 and then recruit 3 of these guys a turn. Minimum leader size 6. So he's 7. He's 5 now, so he can't, unless, well, I was gonna say unless you take a larger bless, but he's not larger. Yeah, even these guys. So literally just the sultans and a size 6 pretender, which let's take a look at what those are. So obviously he's going to be a size 6 pretender. Size 8, so he's actually bigger than the rest of them, which, you know, cool, makes sense. No glamour though, so alright. I wonder what merit paths are. The Titans are all going to be size 9 or something like that. Size 8. Size 6. So even the solar disc, if you ever for any reason felt like taking a solar disc. Although solar disc, I think, I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm really gonna put that on the back burner though. The Anunnaki of growth, this was a pretty typical one because if he's the same, he had the free vine shield effect, size 9. And then this one was a typical one that Lucid tried out one time because of the paths, which are pretty good for thugging. Boo, 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 what else? This is a size 10 now, so she can take, you know, them. Good thing I marked this as not for children. And then, yeah, I like her because she has a lot of research, an inspiring researcher +2, and already magic power and magic limit. Although it doesn't stack because you can't stack pretender, and yeah, so that's irrelevant kind of. This could be cool. Glamour. I don't know why it could be cool. I just saw the glamour and it's like, oh, cool, glamour. This is what I used to take. Spirit form. Interesting. So this is the new thing, which means they can't take iron skin, bark skin, skeletal body anymore. That's a big, bad debuff for this guy, but it's fine. You're not supposed to be using him for that anyways. The other thing, obviously, is that you can't twice-born any pretenders at all. So that's also a pretty big nerf for those guys. This guy is also cool, and you already have to take him dormant anyways. So that could be cool. And yeah, this guy's size 10. That's interesting. But let's just do my usual. So if my usual was... so this is just your standard design point. So my usual was max... Ooh, interesting. Order, +1. Yeah, so you can still do that. This is cheaper, actually. And he has 1 free bless point because of starting at Astral 2. So yeah, you can get 3 bless points and just solar weapons for free. Oh no, because it's 3 and 1, so never mind. No. Magic resistance and arcane command, I guess? No. Kind of meh. So then 40 points for a new path. If we did this. Attack skill. Oh, that's another thing I should look at. Inspirational presence. I should look at what these guys' fire resistance is. 60. So you reduce by 60 points of damage, and then the remainder... Well, I mean, so... you never need more than 50. It's like, why do you have 60? You don't need more than 50, because at 50 you reduce all fire damage by 100%. So, it's just like... It's hilarious overkill that you're like, I am immune, but by an extra 20% on top immune. So just don't even bother. That's really funny. And then these guys are I'm sorry, there it is. I was like, where is it? All right. Oh, you know why it's 60 is because he has they gave him 50 fire resistance and are like, well, now he's immune. And then because of his fire paths, he got another 10 on top. So that's why he has 60. So really, you should have just given him 40. And he's going to get it because of the fire magic. So, yeah. Really funny. That's like air quotes bug, but not really enough for anybody to care. So it's really funny, though. Anyways, yeah, so full scales, Ubar is... really more points. So cool. Morale there. So attack skill and morale. Yay. The other thing that we could do is I mean, monsters are okay now. 330. There's the spider. Very scary. Earth Serpent is size 10. That's cool. Golden Lion, I think everybody has Golden Lion now. And these guys are interesting because they're protection 13. Mundane attacks is 25 because they have invulnerable. And they're slash and pierce resistant. Kind of sad they didn't change the sprite for Scorpion King yet, but there's a lot to get to, and I think this is not one of their top priorities, but something to do on their to-do list, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. I'll really have to experiment with this. Let's see what this guy would give me. So he's 90 points. So if I go like that, and then that, it's still fine. That's okay. That's 3 bless points for... unaging. Oh crap. Let's look at the other mages. The human mages. So, tubas are the same. 270 gold. That doesn't seem very expensive. This seems pretty doable. Human Sahirs are the same. Also pretty doable. I'd have to compare this. This sort of looks like what they used to be. I think maybe he was 120. I'm not really overly concerned by this price tag. That seems pretty comparatively cheap. I mean, there's these guys, 370. Now this guy does get a random, which is fair, valid. Excuse me. He doesn't start with it. So basically the imprisoned ones, the ones that you get from your sites, and then this is 150 gold. The ones you get from your sites are auto glamour, and the ones that you get, oh no, he's glamour. I will really have to play around with this a lot to see what kind of buffs you should anticipate using when you're doing things like expansion or thugging. This guy has potential because he's sacred for interesting thug ideas. And I'm really glad that they didn't make this guy sacred. Like, I am insanely glad that they didn't make this guy sacred. I really like just spamming these as non-sacred, as many as you can make. And I think that's the same. 50 gold looks like it's pretty much the same. 75 I think is the same. So that's great. I'm happy with that. And now we have camels. Camels have a hoof attack, wasteland survival, and defense 11 and 20 hit points with 4 protection. It's alright. It's fine. There is no camel equivalent of the heavy warhorse and destriers. Fair enough. Skilled rider. Does this actually show right here? Mounted? No. Camel. Skilled rider 2. Yeah, okay. Alright. Morale 12. That's really good. Magic resistance 5. It's fine. And they start with 1 falcon. And then this guy starts with D3 falcons. Ooh, mobile archer. Able to fire even while moving. Yeah, I heard this was a thing. So a lot of them can do that. I don't know how this is going to play out, because you basically, in Dominion's battles, you basically either go forward or you go backwards. And the reason you would want to be a mobile archer is you go around in circles, not like closer or further away. You're just circling them, shooting arrows at them. But there isn't really a mechanic for that in Dominions, so it's cool. But I think the only way you do this is like you forward position a bunch of cavalry archers, like as far forward as you can on fire and keep distance, and then your main army behind them on hold and attack, and then you just pepper them and then run away, continuing to shoot until your main line hits, and you sort of trickle through them. Maybe. And then these guys are skirmishers, so you could actually do that too. So you could like have these in skirmish or line skirmish formation, which these guys can do line skirmish. You could do line skirmish formation with these guys, and then have your main troops, like a army of guys. You know, that's sort of the problem, is that you don't have good main line troops. You have Jinn and these guys, and maybe ghouls. I don't know. But yeah, it's cool. I'm excited. He's still bad. Don't ever get him. Alright. Are these guys? No. Can be recruited outside forts as well. This is a Nava thing. Nava can recruit these cheapo scouts, which are now 30 gold. But Ubar can only recruit these guys, which are now 75 gold. That is sad. Alright, enough of that. Who else did I want to look at? Kailasa, but I kind of already knew everything about them. Let's just take a look at them anyways. Size 4, Protection 1, All 1, and Glamour. Okay, so they don't have a random on Glamour. They just get straight up Glamour. That's cool. That's cool. That's good. They're 500 gold. You can still get one. And then also Glamour. Alright, I think that's a big buff to these guys. I wonder if that's just on the recruitables or if that is on the summons as well. And then Bandar are size 4, Protection 10. It's alright. 2 earth and Glamour. Alright. That's cool. I think these are pretty good thugging paths still. Yeah. I'm not sad about it. And then this guy, this lady right here. I have to figure out how to use her at some point. That she's just so cool. You have a tiger mount, size 10, 3 attacks. She's skilled rider too, skilled rider 4, which means, yeah, his defense skill's insane. Like if you take like, just, okay, well, I mean you don't have, you'd have to dump in, but like blur, and then air. Yeah, this is that wasn't what I was going for, but blur and awareness, unsurroundable. I don't know. It'd be funny, but no, we're not doing that. Like if we do, what I wanted to do was Splendor. Let's see how that costs. Okay, Unbearable Splendor. So now we only need 4 and Fire 8, and 2 more bless points somewhere. Why is that? 8 and 4. Oh right, because it's, yeah. So then if we do 2 bless points and then take, I mean it's all right, it's doable. You don't need it awake. You need something to not die. Bark skin. Ah, frick. It's so expensive. Anyways, I'm not worried about it. But it's cool. Ooh, wow. Ooh. Destroyer of Worlds. That's a new one. I mean, new from like one of the new patches, I think. Death, Air, and Fire versus Blood and Earth. Because I saw some of this. Ooh, interesting. A Naga Pretender. Really cool. Can she shapeshift? Yeah, into human form. Can she seduce from human form? That would be awesome. And then she's got Disbelief Aura with Glamour. This is what I'd probably take. I think a really good basic survival bless is just blur on basically anything. Like some things start with blur, that like imprisoned is really good, I think, for expansion. Yeah, I'm excited for these. I should check this out. And he's Astral and Air. But you get this already on your summons. The other summons that I'm really excited for. Oh, and there's the Elephant Idol. Wow. Size 10. Stun immunity. Siege bonus. 390. Do you have to take him dormant? No, you can take him awake. That's something. That's something else. Alright. We will have to play around with this. Alright, 5 seconds and we're going to do the old bless that I did, and we're going to see how it works. Because this is what I did before. So we have regen, so expensive, fortitude. I need 7 and 7. So what I want is this. Regen and fortitude, and then I just dump 1 scale. I mean, I've already dumped 2 scales because of heat. So if I dump sloth and 1 heat, 2 heat, and then I get a couple of Dominion candles, it's doable. Yeah, it's alright. It's fine. You can expand with this. I think you can expand with this. You're not going to be super killy. So there's that. Let me take a look at one more thing. I know I've said like last thing for like a bajillion times. So I want to see forgeable magic items, which is either I or capital F, not regular F, capital F. Okay, so there's the Vajra. It's cool, but it's just too expensive still. I don't think I'd ever really want it. Will affect both Mountain Rider. Yeah, see, the thing is now, you have a summon that can actually get you lightning attacks, which I'm excited for. And I don't think they have, or they didn't have, any other magic items. A unique magic artifact barding, sunrise barding. Cool. Alright. Fey Steel Knight's barding, air shield. Interesting. And very high protection. Air and earth. Alright. Lightweight cataphract barding, air. Yeah, so this is like the air version. That's some good armor right there. Air 2 though, 10 gems. That's a lot. Proud Steed. Wow. Alright. Cool. I wonder who gets that normally. MRL. I don't actually know what that stands for. Morale. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we've actually seen that acronym before. Blur. Cool. Battle Fury. Alright. It's sort of like a lesser version. This is a nature lesser version. Ferocious Rage of Wild Boars. I don't think this makes them berserk. I just think it just gives them Battle Fury. Alright. Black Steel. Enchanted. It's basically like Light Cav and Proud Steed, but no protection. Enchanted Saddle. Cool. Alright. And then all armor supposedly gives hit points now. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel kind of meh about it. Interesting. High protection but low hit points. Is it hit points based on construction level? Kind of yes and kind of no. Hit points 10. Fear, Trample, Flying. Attack skill -4. Bloodstone armor. Regen heavy. Cannot be sent with magic rituals. Yeah, that makes sense. Defense -3. Yuck. I don't know. Marble armor. Stone skin. No effect on... Yeah, so you can't bypass it with this kind of armor. Can't bypass spirit form. Valid. Totally valid. No other new artifact armors, though. That's a bit of an old sprite, too. This would turn somebody into a troll, so... Alright, I have now gone over 3. How long has this gone for? I haven't even checked if anybody's commented or anything. Oh, hi, people! There are people! Yay! If he was muted, would he keep extra fire as... I guess so. I guess that's valid. Glamour could be good because no one will be familiar with it at the start. Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. I certainly am not. Alright. How many people are here? 18 watching now. Okay, well, hi everyone. Sorry it took me so long to acknowledge you. Yeah, I'm, see, clicking away, that's silly. Clicking away to the other screen to see what's going on. I have 2 screens going on, but it's like a TV monitor because I'm super low-tech with all of this. Let's go into the late age for a bit, shall we? I wanted to see how Satis looks. And then who else? Oh, let's pop over to Raga real quick and see. These guys are only sacred, 2 holy points, yeah. So that's down from the 3, which was rumored in a lot of the beta testing. But yeah, these guys are going to have a lot of fun with the new cavalry mechanics. But I'm not going to dwell on that too much. Who else? Vaedi, wolves. Wolf. That's a small click box. You have to click on the word. You can't click around it. That's a very small click box. Is it the same for the wolf brother? Yeah. So you have to click on the word. That's slightly annoying because you would assume that it's like this whole box right here. But I will live. It's just a wolf, yeah. So this is going to be pretty bad. I don't think there's going to be really much of any use. I mean, you got high defense skill. But still, it's going to be really bad. I mean, your bite reduces your defense skill. That's so bad. They're just going to die, and then your wolf brothers are going to walk home. Oh. Yeah, I won't worry about it. Satis. Yeah, these are the new ones. Andromania. Piconia and Femini. Femini. So, oh, and then Marignon. This is how many commanders they can recruit. Is it? I think it's twice as many as their troops. Commanders. Goetic Master. Blood, Fire. High Inquisitor. I have barely ever played with or against Marignon, so I have so little knowledge. Master of Mirrors. Super Glamour. Yeah. Bless points +3, and then these guys are apparently the worst, is what everybody says. A Glamour Mage can scry. That's cool. That's pretty cool. And then Admiral, Alchemist, Architect. Alright, cool. Apparently, which I learned from reading the manual this morning before I bought the game, when I was at work and coming home, apparently you can now upgrade citadels to grand citadels. Theodos. I will take a look at them next. I'm going to do one more late age nation and then I'll pop over to Theodos. That's a good idea. Theodos is really cool, but I'll have to take a look at them. Won't be able to see their ghosties until I get into a game, but I'm probably not going to do that today. So yeah, Grand Citadels is like the extra citadel on top, which is not, it does not give an extra commander points, so it's still 3 commander points, but it's a lot more admin points, and it's a lot higher fort defense, so very, very tough to crack, and a lot more recruitment points, so you basically can have a lot of troops production out of it. But a Grand Citadel, upgrading to a Grand Citadel, which again you can only do with Masons if you already have a Citadel, Grand Citadel costs 1,000, and that's how much a regular fort costs to start building. So I don't know, I don't think you'll see a lot of them, but could be cool. Maybe if you stick one like in your capital, and then like if you're able to, if you have time to sort of like heavily tank, you can go on any thrones you claim and make them Grand Citadels, and then it's like nobody's ever going to crack them. Alright, enough of that. I did want to look at Patala, but we'll go do Satis, because Satis is exciting with all the stuff that they've gotten. They have a halberd, which is very high protection, high damage, length 3. This is competing for recruitment versus Falchineers, who are also, I think, upped to protection 17. Very cool. They have crossbows now, 10 gold crossbows. They're actually not even that expensive. They have like iron weaponry and crossbows, and they only cost 12 resources. That's pretty intense. Pretty cool. And then they have Banefire crossbows, but Banefire crossbows, they're holy, but they're just bad. I'm gonna come out and say it. They have 1 attack every 3 rounds, decay on damage. So it's not even on hit, and it's not AoE like a Banefire crossbow or item or the bows that the Banefire archers get that you can summon. It's on damage, decay. That is for 11 damage, 11 armor piercing, but it's bad. It's really bad. There's no bless that you would want to build around this to make it work. And then of course the only other sacreds are these guys, which are not going to have a compatible bless with an archer. So, oh well. Alright, they're mages. Let's look at their mages. They've still got the 0 leadership, 1 holy guy, which you probably never recruit for any reason whatsoever. Holy 2 Temple Trainer, Sacred Serpents still. Cool. Lizard Kings, Holy 3s, 150 leadership. All leadership has been bumped up, so he has 150 now. Reborn is the same, but they also have 100% Astral, so it can be Death Astral. That could be cool. A Death Communion. Sorrowmancers, again, Astral. I think they added this also, not just for communions, but also because of the Mine Hunt problem that everybody hated. That since Sorrowmancers were the only things with Astral, they were the only things that would be targeted by Mine Hunt. Now Reborns will be too, which is fine. Empoisoner is your cap only, and then Tomb Kings is your other cap only. And Empoisoner is the same. And the Poison Slings now do Cloud. Area of Effect, Cloud Strength 3. This is going to be a really complicated mechanic. I will do a video on how clouds work once I figure out how clouds work. I have no idea at this point. I just think it's like a cloud that then stacks. If it's like more clouds in the same square, will then overlap into other squares. And there are a lot of effects like this. It's heat auras are clouds, cold auras are clouds, fear auras are clouds, sleep auras are clouds. I think everything is like a cloud now. So it's interesting. I don't know what to expect from that, but I'll have to really break that down before I can talk about it more. So yeah, Alchemistic Magic Duel is a spell that is an astral evocation 1 spell that you get very, very early. and basically any Astral 1 can cast it with one Astral Pearl, and it's 100% precision, long range, and each mage rolls against their unmodified Astral level. So if you have an Astral 1 rolling against another Astral 1, blah blah blah, talking, then there's like it's basically a 50-50 chance for who lives and who dies. They just straight up die. And a tie results in both mages dying. But the problem is, when you have a mage that is a Sorrowmancer for 400 gold being targeted versus a mage that is a Yogi that is 80 gold casting it, and you have like 4 of these guys to 1 Sorrowmancer, you don't care how many of these guys die, because yeah, magic. Did I say Mind Hunt? I might have said Mind Hunt by accident. Yeah, Magic Duel. It's Magic Duel. Okay, well, at least now everybody else who's not you knows what I'm talking about and what Mind Hunt is, or Magic Duel. Apparently I'm crossing my ideas today. Now everyone knows what Magic Duel is. Yay! And then lastly, these guys are the showcase, because originally they were cap only, but basically the exact same as Reborns, but with Holy 1 priest level. And that was kind of lame, because it's like, why do you care about a Fire 1 Death 1? Well, you don't. You care now that they're Holy 2 Reanimator priests. And they're not undead. So normally Satis has the undead reanimation that they do to get things like Tomb Worms and Tomb Chariots and stuff like that. Yeah, you pay gems to do Magic Duel, but it's still worth it if you get a 10 times as expensive mage with your cheapo mages. It was just a thing people were concerned about. But anyways, so now you can do reanimation with Holy 2, and Holy 2 gets you Tomb Worms. And with a Citadel that you start with, you can get 1.3 of these guys every turn, and reanimating Tomb Worms from turn, 2, because you have to recruit one. So turn 2 Tomb Worms. And I'm not going to be able to show what a Tomb Worm stats are, but they're tanky, they have an okay bite attack, and they're cool. But normally you wouldn't care, because you just get the Chariots, because the Chariots are better. And Chariots is going to be fun too, to see how that worked out, because Chariots are mounted now. I don't know how that's going to play out. I don't know what the size differences are. We actually have some Chariots that we can look at for comparison. So we'll go into Early Age, and then I'll take a look at Theodos afterward, by request. Late Age? So that's Late Age Satis I was showing off. For Early Age, you get a lot of Chariots. There's a couple Chariots in the Middle Age, but for Early Age, the Chariots you're looking at are Tianqi, which I have no idea where these guys are going to be. You have Tianqi Chariots, and you do have Early Age Chariots, but for Late Age, the Chariots are undead, reanimated Chariots, which you get for Holy 3. That's what I was talking about. So the Early Age Chariots are living Chariots, but if you kind of approximate on what their stats are, they probably won't have protection, they probably won't have a lot of hit points, but they'll be size 6 Chariots, which will be very interesting. That's my guess, at least. And again, because of the trample mechanics, you'll be trampling and smacking people with falchions as you're going by. So that could be cool. That could be cool with the undead Chariots. But yeah, interesting. So Theodos. Again, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to show the actual spectral troops, but I believe one of the problems with Theodos is going to be a little bit of that nerf that we got going on for Spirit Form, which is that you can't get bark skin, iron skin, stone skin, etc. on them, because they will be ethereal spirit form troops. And we'll see this in the Ghost King. So the Ghost King is ethereal and spirit form. So not everything that's ethereal is spirit form. And there are, I think, I'm not going to quote me on that because, again, just opened the game, don't know yet. I think there are some spirit form things that are not ethereal, and I think the classic example of that is going to be water elementals. But that will be interesting to look at. But basically, spirit form means that you can't get iron skin, skeletal body, polymorph spells, other transformation type spells. Actually, let's see if we can see. Alteration. Nature. Bark skin. Doesn't affect illusions or spirit form. So I was looking for something that was sort of like is a transformation spell tag kind of thing, but they're not doing it like that. They're going to say doesn't affect illusions or spirit form, and illusions are also going to obviously be affected by this as well. But anything with the spirit form tag is not going to be affected by bark skin. It's not going to be affected by stone skin, and it's not going to be affected by iron skin. I wonder if temper flesh is still good, but again, if you have no protection, then kind of bad. Now you can still wear armor if you're a commander, and you're not going to get Army of Gold, Army of Lead, or new one, Army of Bronze, which is Earth 6. Natural protection up to 13, also +4 strength. Cool. Petrify now does not affect illusions or spirit form. Valid. Seems logical. Marble Warriors, also no. And then for water, Liquid Body. Liquid Body does, I guess, apparently. What was the other thing that they said? There was some... Wave Warriors? No, Wave Warriors does too. So you can get like half damage. You can get the Temper Flesh effect from either water or earth. There was some other thing. I forgot what it was. Oh, skeletal body. Polymorph. Okay. So... is that enchantment? No, it's probably alteration. There it is. Alright, I guess doesn't affect spirit form. And vulnerability is fine. And then Stygian skin. Oh, wow, okay. So Stygian skin also doesn't affect spirit form, because it's a skin effect, I guess. Where's, whatchamacallit? Stygian Reigns. I think that's evocation? Yeah. Okay, so this is very, very weird. Stygian Reign, which grants the effect of Stygian skin, is totally fine for spirit form, but Stygian skin is not. So I guess that's how we're rolling with it. So you can still, for the time being, unless they decide that that was a mistake and patch it out, you can still do Stygian Reigns as Theodos. Although, if I recall correctly, you don't actually get a lot of death as Theodos. But I haven't really played a whole game with them. So I don't think these guys are changed. Still got Korribonts, which are size 3, but Formation Fighter, Bad Formation Fighter 2. So the thing with formations now is that you fit into a size 10 square. So when you have size 3 humans, normally you can fit 3 size 3 humans plus anything that's size 1. But very, very few things are size 1 now. It's just like bugs and tiny snakes. Like Hobergs are not size 1, and Vaeti goblins are not size 1, they're size 2. So very, very, very few things are size 1. So what that means is you take, for Formation Fighter or Bad Formation Fighter, either plus or minus 2 off the top. 1 in 5 chance of getting death, 1 mage, and it's slow to recruit. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So, yeah. I think you don't really have a lot of death, usually, on Theodos, which surprised me when I was sort of designing pretenders around them and playing a test game with them or something, but it's a different theme for their nation, so it is what it is. But yeah, for Formation Fighter, you're adding or subtracting 2 off the top. So what that means is Korribants fit into a size 10 square minus 2, which means they're fitting into a size 8 square, which means that you can have 2 per square plus 2 more. Stygian skin does not affect undead. Yes, Stygian skin. No, it doesn't affect inanimate, which is not necessarily undead. I think actually ghosts are not inanimate undead. And then evocation also doesn't affect inanimate. So slight difference, very, very slight difference. If it was skeletons, then yes. But that's sort of the thing with not just Theodos, but I think Lemuria too, is that you could always cast Stygian Rains on the ghosts for Lemuria. Yeah. I'm gonna take a quick break and come back in a little bit. Let's see. Actually, I'll probably just stop here. Yeah, well, I've been talking for a while, so I'll just stop here. Anyways, it's been fun. That's been like 4 or 5 nations, and I'll do a little bit more testing off screen. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Bye.